Hey there, people. I'm always digging at my ear. Why is that? I don't know what it is. As soon as I get on the camera, I feel like digging in my ear. I do that all the time. Go back in all my other videos and see. I do it all the time. Anyway, my nose is running wicked. Speaking of nose running, I'll tell you a little story. Sometimes your bad habits catch up to you in a big way. Sometimes in very small ways. I got this habit of doing snot rockets, you know. And, I know a lot of you men do it too. I even seen a woman do it once. That was pretty impressive. Half of it got stuck on her mustache, so she was a tough girl. Tough girl. I think she was a girl. So anyway, I'm driving home yesterday after going into the town there, and see, I'm doing it again. And it's been pretty dry around here. It was dry and cold, and I was driving down the road, picking my nose. You know, you guys do it. Don't say you don't, because I know you do. Ugh, I know, it's disgusting. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a demo. There's a demo. There's a demo for you. So anyway, I'm driving down the road, picking my nose. There's a little nugget way up in there, a little too deep to dig out by hand. So we had to use a positive pressure situation. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, normally you don't blow snot rockets while you're driving, but if you develop bad habits, sometimes the day comes where you do it when you really didn't mean to do it, but because it's a bad habit, it happens. And I was picking my nose, and all of a sudden I just went like that, and as soon as I did it, I thought to myself, why am I doing this in my car? And it landed right on my dash. Ugh. Anyway, just let that be a lesson to you. Just don't blow snot rockets in your Jeep. It's really, really bad and disgusting, really. So the first thing you're going to want to start out with is 10 inches of whatever you want to use, but this is 3/8. You can make drive hooks out of 1/4 inch. If you're going to make a 1/4 inch one, probably be a little smaller, probably about 8 inches. This is a piece of 10 inch because it's 3/8 of an inch round, hot rolled round. You can make it out of square bars. They look good too. And just remember, when you're doing a little scroll on the end there, it's got to be a round cross section. If it's a square bar, a square cross section. It doesn't, it ain't written in stone, but usually that's what you do. So here we go. So the first thing you got to do is put the square, like the part you drive into the wood. So it's a square cross section. So point it like normal. Put a square cross section on it like that, about 2.5 inches back. And then about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches from the point, put it on the corner of the anvil, a sharp corner. Hit right into the corner like this. Get that to bend real straight. If you hit it too far out, it's going to make this bow. It's going to be rounded. You don't really want that. So you get it about a 90. You really want to get it a little more than a 90 and flatten it out, because this will twist sometimes. You want that flattened out in line with this. So see, it's still a 90. I want a little more. So what I'm going to do is I lift up on it a little bit, and then I hit it. That's what I want right there. I want it to be just a little more than 90 degrees. And about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. Then you're going to go do the other end. So you're just going to do this almost the exact same thing. Except this is going to be a round cross section because this is a round bar. Then before you lose your heat, you're going to put a little bit of curl on the end. And that's all you want. So you want that tightened up on one end, and they're in line. You want them in line. So, see what I'm saying there? Don't worry about getting everything super aligned. You do all that at the very end once you get it all made, and you flatten it out real good. Okay, so now what you're going to do, your last heat, really this whole project should only take 3 heats. 1 heat to do this, 1 heat to do this. Now you're going to put that back in the forge and you're going to heat probably 3.5, 4 inches of it at least. Yeah, at least 4 inches from there to about 2/3 the way up. So then you're going to bend this back on itself. On a horn or on a jig, it's up to you. It's pretty much the same. This one here, I'm going to show you how to do it on the horn because that's a little tougher to do. So here you go. Okay, there you go, a good long heat. Send that around on a bigger part. Something like that. Then come underneath and kind of work your way up the horn. Do any smoothing. Make sure that's nice and round. There you go, that's what you're left with right there. The drive hook. Now if you're trying to drive it in, don't drive it in flat like this. Angle it up. Start it like that. Because what happens is it starts to bend down on itself. And just drive it in until the bottom touches. And it's in. You can hang a lot of weight off that. The only thing about these is if they wiggle back and forth, they tend to come loose. And that's why you got to go with more than 90 degrees here, because hopefully it won't work its way down like this. It'll be more or less straight in when you're done, or even downward, it's even better, so that gravity will keep it there. But if you don't move them too much, they're pretty solid. So, but if you are trying to remove them from the wall, that's all you do is you wiggle them side to side, and they come right out. So that's it, a drive hook. That's what it is, that's what it's called. It's an old thing, it's been around a long time. They've been making these, one of the first things they ever made, man, because they didn't have screws and nails. Well, they had nails, but why make a nail when you could build the nail into the thing? So if you look in the basements of old buildings, stuff from the 1800s, there's all sorts of stuff like this driven into the beams, and they used to make hangers for pipes and everything that way. Used to just make a square point, hammer it in. A lot of old piping held up that way. They used to have brackets that kind of went 2 points like that, and then they would have a big loop to hold the pipe. A lot of old sewer pipes held up that way. Anyway, it's a really good project for the beginner to practice on, and it's definitely something you can sell. Minimum, you should ask $5 for one of these. The average is usually about $8, and if you're a greedy sumbitch, you might get 10. But charge $10 for something that takes 3 heats and is done in a few minutes is kind of ridiculous. I just busted out 16 of these, and it took an hour. So, you know, it's good profit in it, good margins. 10 inches of 3/8 don't cost nothing. It's pretty cheap. So, also, right after you do the very last heat, you have a really hot bar, so it's really good to do an oil finish at that point. Let it cool down a bit. Never put an oil finish on steel that would glow at all. We'll talk about oil finishes someday soon. I'll make up a batch and show you how it's done and what goes into it. At least it's my version of it. Everybody has a different recipe, but mine's worked good in the past. I don't tend to use it very much. I do a lot of painted stuff, so. But I'll show you how to do it someday soon. So, take care again. I know it's not Christmas time yet. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, and I don't know what the Muslims do at this point in time, but you know, let's all try and get along for a little while. You know, it's very expensive to fight. We don't need to fight. You ask pretty much any average man, do we need to fight? Do we need to have wars? Do we need to go around killing each other? And probably 95% of us would say no. But there is a group of people out there that just love to make war, and we need to stop them, stop giving them the money to do it. That's what it's all about. You know it, I know it, they know it. It's ridiculous. And anyway, that's what's on my mind today. So take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.